Porter's Five Forces analysis is an invaluable framework we can use when we would like to assess a company's positioning within an industry. In other words, it allows us to examine the attractiveness of a business. Here, we will consider Tesla's automotive division. The five forces are bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitute products, threat of new entrants, existing competition. Okay, perfect. Let's analyze each of these forces by bearing in mind what we with the bargaining power of suppliers. Tesla is a vertically integrated producer. Most production processes are carried out in-house, which means that they rely on suppliers for components, rather than buying ready-made technologies and products. This allows the company to be more independent in its processes and improve its bargaining power. Suppliers of components are relatively easy to substitute. A complete technology, outsourced externally, can be much more problematic. Furthermore, Tesla's bargaining power with respect to suppliers is expected to improve even further when production scales significantly and the company is able to place large orders. When negotiating for Model S and Model X components, the company had one significant disadvantage. Its short track record, combined with low production volumes, were not that compelling to suppliers. Things are about to change now. Model 3's production target of 5,000 per week was achieved in the middle of 2018, so suppliers will be increasingly interested in doing business with Tesla and improving conditions offered from 2018 onwards. Moreover, what is very interesting is that someone on Tesla's team, likely his name starts with E and ends with N, suggested suppliers should return money back. Tesla requested suppliers to return a significant amount of the payments they have received since 2016. This is unusual, as in 99% of cases, companies ask for price reductions going forward, not retroactively. There are two possible interpretations. Tesla is desperate for cash, which is a bit too obvious according to me, or alternatively, the company feels that it is in a strong position to ask suppliers for such a gesture. From Tesla's perspective, when suppliers offered them prices for Model 3 components, they did that based on Model S and Model X production figures, which were surpassed significantly. So, to sum up, Tesla has a pretty strong bargaining power when negotiating with suppliers, now that it has scaled and will continue to increase its production. Bargaining power of buyers. In the automobile business-to-consumer market, Tesla sells its products to hundreds of thousands of people. Therefore, it is safe to say that customers cannot really negotiate prices as they do not have enough bargaining power. However, it is also true that there are many firms operating in the market. Depending on the type of car being sold, Tesla can either charge a premium for vehicles such as Model S, Model X, and Roadster, or has to offer a very competitive price, like when it tries to win a mass audience with the Model 3. In a couple of years, Tesla will enter the business-to-business market. Things are a bit different there. In 2017, Pepsi pre-ordered 100 semi-trucks. This was Pepsi's biggest public pre-order to date. So it is reasonable to expect that when such large orders are made, Tesla and Pepsi representatives negotiated prices a bit. However, the bargaining price of customers in the B2B market is not too strong either. It allows corporate clients to obtain a few percentage points of discount from list prices. Okay, next on our agenda, substitute products. The main alternative to electric vehicles? Vehicles using fossil fuel, right? Correct. The growth of the electric automobiles market largely depends on the speed of transition from fossil fuel cars. Besides their environmental benefits, EVs have significantly cheaper maintenance costs, but also lack significant key infrastructure, such as charging stations and mechanics. Also, right now electric cars, including Tesla's vehicles, tend to be sold at a premium over fossil fuel cars, even when incentives are considered. This will probably change in a few years down the road when electric car producers manage to achieve significant economies of scale. A very interesting development in the automotive industry are ride and car sharing services, becoming more and more popular in big cities. Over the last few years, firms like Uber and Lyft redefined car ownership in metropolitan areas. Many people prefer using an application and simply ordering a ride compared to owning a vehicle. A person using ride-sharing does not have to cover the cost of buying a car, its maintenance, parking, and other related expenses. In a similar way, car-sharing services like Car2Go allow people to do hourly car rentals. It is reasonable to expect that the uprise of shared car services will likely transform a portion of the existing automobile sales market. At this point, the entrance of new players in the electric car market seems imminent. Almost all auto producers have announced their plans to release electric versions of existing portfolios. This is a significant threat. It is also true, however, that most of these firms are behind on the learning curve. It is yet to be seen how they'll adapt their vehicles to the different weight, acceleration, and, most importantly, electric battery systems. Tesla's experience with Lotus chassis could be a very interesting case study, as there are a great number of difficulties faced when trying to convert a regular car into an electric vehicle. Nevertheless, we can conclude that competition in the industry is expected to intensify in the near future. The rapid growth of the market will likely protect Tesla in the midterm, but at some point, it will have to find a way to compete with established producers like BMW, Volkswagen, and Toyota. At the very center of the Five Forces framework is the level of competition in the industry at present. We already mentioned that there aren't that many companies competing in the electric vehicles market right now. Besides Tesla, some of the producers who have released their electric cars are Kia, General Motors, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Renault, and BMW. But the fact that tens of thousands of people are willing to wait for a Tesla Model 3 for a year and deposit $1,000 or more tells us that competition is not that fierce at the moment. So, in summary, we can say that the electric vehicles industry looks precisely like an industry at the beginning of its growth phase. Tesla is a first mover and does not face significant competition right now. They have solid know-how, sufficient bargaining power with both suppliers and clients, and are not that threatened by substitute products. The threat of new entrants is much more real and is something the company will have to deal with. Porter's Five Forces analysis indicates that Tesla is a leader and first mover in an industry that is about to experience significant growth. This is a good starting position, but does not guarantee they will manage to win the race with traditional auto producers in the long run. Thanks for watching.